Hi everyone, it's Vicky from createafashionbrand.com and fashionserviceshongkong.com. Today I'm at home because it's been raining here for about 10 days and unfortunately the road near my office is currently flooded, so I can't actually get in. And I should apologise to a few people. They asked whether Smaug, my little pet lizard, would say hello when I did my next video from home. But Smaugy is, he's peeling at the moment, so he's a little bit grumpy and doesn't really want to come out. But I will do it next time, I promise. And if you don't like lizards, I'll give you a warning, don't worry. Okay, so let's get on to our question for the week. And I got an email from Tom. Tom's becoming a bit of a regular. Love Tom. He wrote me an email and he's doing his customer profile at the moment. He's trying to analyze all the data that he's got together. And he asked very specifically, how do I work out what price my customers can afford? Okay, so Tom, and everybody else doing your analysis, there's a couple of things you need to think about in terms of your products and your brand. Now, firstly, are your products everyday products? They, the average thing you could just go out and buy and not really think about in terms of cost? Or are they something more expensive that you have to save up for? Now, I should point out at this point that depending, regardless of what you earn and what you have to spend in a month, you're always going to have something that's luxury, always something that's kind of in the middle, and always something that's cheap. Now, that doesn't matter if you've got £10 in the bank or £1,000,000 in the bank. There's always going to be something that's going to be, luxury that you've got to save up for, regardless of the customers that you have coming in the door. So it's good to bear that in mind when we're kind of talking about this. So it's not about the money coming in, it's the level at which you place your product for your customer and what they have, okay? So the next thing you're going to look at in your profile and analyzing your data is what kind of income they've got. Don't forget this about your core customer. You're always going to have people buying from you that have more money and less money. Again, doesn't matter what market, there's always going to be that range. But you want to focus on your core customer and their average kind of income. Then you've got to work out what they spend that money on. Everyone's going to pay for boring things like rent and food and all that kind of stuff. Boring but necessity items that they have to kind of, pay off first. And then they're left with a small proportion of that. Now you can kind of guess that kind of amount. Maybe it's about 10%, maybe it's about 20%. That depends on your customer and their lifestyle and what they prioritize. Now, you're only going to know that from doing research. But let's use an example. So if we've worked all of that out, let's say that we work out that your average customer, your core customer, has about £50 to £100 to spend every month on clothing. And that's what, they enjoy spending money on. That's what they like doing with their spare cash. But that's their budget. They've got about 50 to 100. So let's say that your product, whatever it is, costs £500. Well, that's going to take a few months for them to save up. That's going to be a real luxury item. They're going to have to really think about that purchase. Okay? So they're not going to be the ones that are just going to kind of hand over the cash. Even at £100, they've got 50 to 100. Even at £100, your product is going to be the one thing that they can buy that month. So again, they're going to have to think about it a little bit. They would probably, if they're sensible, save up a couple of months worth of money just to make sure they've got a bit of extra cash. But they would still have to think about that one item. Now, if your product is something that is meant to be like an everyday, normal, going down the shops or going out somewhere kind of product, those people who have 50 to 100 are not going to be your ideal customer. You're going to need people who can spend £100 without really thinking about it. So that's where you start to kind of move your product price and your customer, and you have to start balancing the two and seeing which is the best one and kind of tweaking them a little bit. If your product is a luxury product and you're happy that someone has to save up maybe 1 or 2 months, and there's enough of those people that want to do that for the product that you've got, they love your product, then that's probably about right. If it's a luxury item, that's okay. If your product is really looking for that target market, the market that has about £50 to £100 a month, if it's an everyday product, then you have to really think about the price. So what should the price be? Well, at £70, that's still one product they can buy a month. At £50, that's probably 1 or 2 good items they can buy a month. So your products need to be around sort of £20 to £30 so that they can buy 2 or 3 of them. And that would really be what we would call an everyday kind of price for that person. They're not thinking about it too much. It's not going to eat into their disposable cash too much. They could probably go in and just make a purchase and not have to worry about their finances. But anything above that, they're probably going to have to think about it. And that's when you start to put up barriers between what they can afford and your product. So it's really about looking at the data, putting it all together, all the relevant parts, and kind of working out how you would shop. You know, think about it relative to that. What do you do when you make a purchase? I've got X amount of money, so this to me is expensive, this to me is cheap, this to me is somewhere in the middle. Do I think about this one? Yes, no. Do I think about this? Yes, no. How many can I afford that month? It's really just about applying what we do every day. You know, we are consumers as well, but use what the methods that you use when you're shopping with your favorite brands, and think about it from the customer's point of view. Okay, so if you have liked my video this week, or even my new glasses, then please like my video, and also if you think that it could help somebody else, please share it. If, like Tom, you would love to get on my email list, which is extra information that you don't get anywhere else, you can get the information on the description box below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You don't want to miss out on any of the great videos, so wait till the end of the video, or even skip to the end. There is a button you can click. You don't even have to do anything, you just click and subscribe. Super easy. Okay, so make sure if you want to comment, there is also a button at the end of the video for our 5-minute fashion brand main video where you can leave me your comments and questions, or get on the newsletter, get some extra information, and you can just reply. And I will make you another 5-minute fashion brand video next week.